So in this video, I wanted to do a deep dive into the Kuru Toga family of mechanical pencils. I have 5. There's about 7 pens in the family, so I don't have everything, but we will have representative coverage here, and then we'll talk about the rest briefly. So again, this is the Kuru Toga mechanical pencil, and it's known for this right here. It has an auto rotation feature. So as you write, the lead inside rotates. And this takes that tip from being a cylinder down to a chisel point, which is very good for writing with. It uses something called the Kuru Toga engine. And that's just a kind of very simple mechanism on the inside. Just to be clear, the pencils are normally sold in 0.5 millimeter. Some, like the high grade and the advanced, are sold in 0.3, and 1 or 2, I think the standard is sold in 0.7 as well, but it's almost always seen in a 0.5 millimeter. So in the lineup, we have the standard Kuru Toga, and this one sells for about between $5 and $6. It's the base model, simplest one. Of course, it has that Kuru Toga engine, which we could see right here. Basically, it's those teeth, there's a little ratchet mechanism in there, and the orange thing, which is what spins. And as you push down, that piece spins. It's hard to see because I'm stabbing myself with a pencil. I can't push very hard, but it does work. Next model up is the Kuru Toga pipe slide. So this is very similar to the standard aesthetically, but it has a few differences on the inside. The most important difference is that the pipe is hidden by default, and then as you click it, the pipe will slide out. This has the high speed engine. You could see it's spinning much more quickly. This has it basically spins at twice the speed. The ratchets are further apart, so it's a slightly upgraded mechanism compared to the original. This one will bump the price up to maybe like $6, maybe $7. It's hard to say on the prices because these are almost all imports, and there's a fair bit of fluctuation. Next up, we have the Kuru Toga Advance. This is basically an upgraded version of the pipe slide because it has the hidden pipe and it has the 2x speed engine. This one actually has a marking showing that it has the double speed engine, or the W engine. And this one you could see on the inside, which is very cool. And the main difference between the pipe slide and the Advance is that the Advance moves to some metal hardware. Most notably the clip, but also this little button at the top. And then you could see some metal hardware there. Advance will go for maybe $8. Call it $8. Next, we have another pair. So these ones move over to an aluminum grip. The bodies are still plastic, but they have an aluminum grip. First up, we have the high grade. This one uses a smooth aluminum grip with these little channels, and there's a little window so you could see the spinning part of the engine. This uses the original engine from the Kuru Toga and the pipe slide. It is the low speed engine. Sorry, from the standard Kuru Toga. It uses the low speed standard engine, so not the 2x speed you would see on the Advance. And again, this piece is aluminum. It's very smooth, but you get a little bit of grip from these channels right here, these divots, whatever they're called. The Kuru Toga rubber grip looks a lot like this one. It has a rubber grip with these sort of channels, but this piece, instead of being aluminum, is rubber. That is one of the ones I do not have. Next, we have the Kuru Toga Roulette. Again, same pencil as the high grade, but it uses knurling in the aluminum. So this piece is aluminum, and there's knurling for extra grip. I actually really like the knurling, and I don't really like the channeling on the high grade, but that's just me. I know some people don't like how knurling feels. I will say that this is a very fine and a not very aggressive knurling. So while it offers grip, it's not like gonna tear your fingers up over time. Neither the high grade nor the Roulette have the hidden pipe, so keep that in mind. They have a few different changes, like a different button, kind of an old school top cap button. But fundamentally it's the same pencil as the rest. One of the ones I don't have is the Kuru Toga Alpha, which basically uses a big alpha gel style grip like this. It would be basically this pen, the Uni Alpha Gel, and this is obviously a pen, but it would be this in a mechanical pencil. It would basically have the hardware from the original Kuru Toga in it. So aesthetically, it looks a lot like this, but it has a Kuru Toga engine on the inside. I don't have that one just because I don't really feel a need to have the big rubber grip. So what do we get with the Kuru Toga? So you get the rotating engine in all of them. Some have the high-speed engine, like the pipe slide and the advance. You get a view of the insides. This is very limited on these two. Like you can see, they have a little window here. You can see the marking of the Kuru Toga engine there, and this will turn clearly. But these ones you could see inside much better, especially with the Advance, which has the biggest window possible, and I have it in a clear body instead of an opaque body, so it makes a difference. So you get the engine. They all have an eraser. The eraser is not hidden, you can't see the eraser, but it is a standard eraser component. The high grade and the Roulette use an eraser that is sheathed in metal. So this eraser could actually slide up and then you could clamp it back down. So it actually has a longer eraser than the rest, but it's essentially the same thing. This eraser, it can't really slide up. You can kind of slide it, but when you're erasing, it's going to get pushed back down. And they're a little bit hard to get off. That one's a lot older. And then lastly, the Advance, again, same eraser. The internals, as you can see, almost entirely plastic. This is not a pen that prides itself on having a lot of metal on the inside. Obviously, the mainspring is metal, which is not a shock, but you can see through to the inside here, that main column, the inner piece, what holds the lead, that holds the lead, that is plastic. And then obviously all these parts are plastic. Very high tech, very well made plastic, but plastic nonetheless. If we take the tip off, we could see a little bit of what's going on in there. You get a look at that engine. You could see, it's a little bit hard to tell, but this black piece is rotating as well. And I think you could take this piece off, and if you need to de-jam the lead, you would de-jam it at this point right here. The Kuru Toga does not come with a mechanism for unjamming the lead, so that is on you. It's not that difficult with a 0.5 millimeter. It is harder with a 0.3 millimeter shaft. You're gonna have to find one of those. So that's what the Kuru Toga has. What is it missing? People tend to fault these for not having metal hardware on the inside. I think we've gone through that already. And then they don't have any lead grade indicators. These are more aimed at kind of students and enthusiasts than they are, it's not like a true drafting pencil. You know, they do have the pipe and all, but this isn't a pen, right? A pencil made for drafting accuracy. So no shock there that we don't have any hardness indicators. This isn't really something you would do with that. More likely you would upgrade to something like this. This is the Uni Nano Dia blended high quality lead, and it's just sort of a low wear, excellent lead. So less about hardness, more about upgrading that lead if you would like. Now on to do some writing, and the Kuru Toga has an interesting writing experience, because if you think about it, this piece pushes in. That's how it spins, right? When you push it, you're turning the ratchet. In the same way, when you click a pencil, when you click a pen, you're spinning that ratchet, right? You're doing the same thing here, except it's not the button that's pushing, it's this front piece. So as this pushes in, you get a slight bit of, you could see it there, of mushy feel. And it's not automatic. If you were to maintain pressure the whole time and color, you could see that you could just make it out. It has the angle there, right? Because I never lifted it to push it again and spin it. It's only when you're picking it up, pressing it, and not pressing it. Oh, unpressing it, I guess. See? Well, that one didn't work, but as we write with this, it will even out because I'm picking it up, I'm pressing it, and does it actually come to a perfect point like they say? Not really. Maybe eventually it will by accident. Maybe if I was really writing instead of scribbling, it would. Hard to say, but it does flatten out. You don't tend to get a really flat, sharp slope. You get something that's more even and more accurate. The way it works, or have it work well or not work, will depend on how you're writing, how long your strokes are, how much you're lifting, and that sort of thing. What you can't avoid is that to make it work, you have to deal with a little bit of mushiness here, and that is what kills the Kuru Toga for a lot of people. It's just not the right pencil if you need a full experience with no mushiness. I have found that the Advance and the Pipe Slide are mushier. So basically, they have the high-speed mechanism that needs more push in to turn more, is just my guess. With the standard and the Roulette and the high grade, you are pushing it less. You're pushing it less. There's less mushiness to it, but it's spinning less quickly. The quick spin to me is a great idea, but I don't know if it really makes a huge difference. So when I'm recommending Kuru Togas, I tend to say, I really like the Roulette. This thing goes for about $10 or $12. You get the aluminum, and you get probably, I would say, the best looking of the Kuru Togas. I like the standard a lot too. Save some money, simplify the mechanism. It's great. Personally, I tend to use the Pipe Slide. I don't think it's the best performance, and I think the mushiness of that comes with the high-speed engine is a little bit of an issue. But if I'm gonna have a mechanical pencil, I want the pipe to be hidden. So what I recommend doesn't exactly mesh with what I use, but it's kind of a do what I say, not what I do type thing. So my favorite, Pipe Slide, or sometimes I grab the Advance just because it's the coolest, but honestly, usually just the Pipe Slide. And then as for the most notable ones or the best, the ones you should get if you're new to the Kuru Toga line, most people looking for a great pencil, just go with the Roulette. It's like an extra $5 off the other ones, and you get the aluminum, you get the great looking old school style. but standard's great too. For $5, this thing is a pretty insane deal if you believe in the Kuru Toga spinning mechanism. We'll do a video in the future about something like the Del Guard, and that has its own technology, which takes a completely different idea on what you should do with the pencil lead as you're writing. It's kind of the opposite of how a Kuru Toga line thinks. But anyway, that about covers it. That is the Uni Kuru Toga family. And just keep in mind, I covered these 5. There's also the rubber grip, which looks like the high grade, but has a rubber grip. And then the Alpha, which moves to this big flexy grip, but it looks filthy all the time. Thanks for watching.